Joining us now is Texas Congressman and Chairman of the Homeland Security Committee, McCaul. Congressman, your take on the hurricane and response efforts so far, because you were really, again, particularly after what happened in Texas.
Yeah, it was a devastating hurricane. It's a different hurricane. It's not a flooding event as much as a wind-rain event. It is going to move out of the state of Florida. I think what we're most concerned about, as I met with the Commandant of the Coast Guard and the FEMA administrator, are the tens of thousands of people who stayed in the Keys. Today, this morning, the Coast Guard will be going in. The USS Abraham Lincoln is down there to search and rescue. We're in the search and rescue phase, saving lives, and I hope that number is low.
Can you give us an update on how Texas is doing after Hurricane Harvey?
Texas, we're past the recovery and response phase. We're now in the rebuilding phase, and it's going to take years to recover. It's rebuilding. Texans are stepping up to the plate. People all over the country came in, as we do, and people all over the country came in to help, and it was a very compassionate moment. But people are getting their homes out, they're rebuilding, and of course Congress passed the appropriations bill to help provide that assistance.
Is there going to be a problem in terms of construction workers, both in Texas and Florida? There's already a shortage of skilled labor in construction. What can be done about that? They're talking about immigration,
really
maybe easing up on immigration just temporarily.
I mean, it is an issue. Contractors don't have the level of workers I think they would like to have, and you're going to have a massive rebuilding of the state. We say bigger and better than it was before, but we're going to need that work, and perhaps it's going to come all across the country coming into Texas, but I do think that is an issue.
I want to move on to today, the anniversary, the 16th anniversary of the September 11th terror attacks. President Trump is set, as by custom, it was a custom set by President George W. Bush, that he's going to receive a terrorism briefing on the 9/11 anniversary. You being the chairman of the Homeland Security Committee, your take on the terror threat now compared to 16 years ago and how well we're fighting it?
I think we're fighting it very well. It has evolved and changed dramatically since 9/11, 16 years ago. That was a massive, large-scale operation. I think our intelligence community would take that down today. On the other hand, they were moving towards 1- to 2-man operations, more simple operations. The Internet has changed a lot since that time. Bin Laden didn't use cell phones. He used caves and couriers. Today, you have a new generation of terrorists who are very savvy on the Internet that know how to exploit, recruit, train, and radicalize on the Internet. So it's taken this ideology to a global bandwidth, if you will, and it's very hard to stop it.
You know, one of the things, Congressman, in the post-9/11 response, one of the issues that came up was coordination between the intelligence agencies, coordination within the administration. What's your assessment of where that coordination is now? What's your assessment of how the Congress is working with this administration in fighting this terror threat?
Well, we still don't get it right all the time, but we did get it right most of the time. We stopped most attacks from occurring that people don't even know about, and that's the good news. But connecting the dots is always the issue, and the 9/11 Commission recommended connecting the dots. I think the Joint Terrorism Task Forces are working far better today than they were prior to 9/11, and that's the multi-agency task force. And so I think they've done a great job. We have stopped so many plots from happening in the United States. I think Europe, by contrast, is in a far more vulnerable position. They're actually in a more of a pre-9/11 posture.
Congressman, it was great to see you.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate that.
Please come back on a happier day, but I know that we're happy that the storm wasn't worse down in Florida, and blessings to the people of Texas, of course.
Thank you so much.
Congressman McCaul, take care. Still ahead.